Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your girl. I'm back doing a acrylic video by request by one of my viewers on YouTube. We are going to be using Glam and Glitz acrylic and BT Art Box Coffin Shape full coverage tips. Okay, these tips are sold on Amazon. I'm giving y'all free advice and I ain't getting paid for this. It's all good. These tips, like I said, are full coverage. They're sold on Amazon. I believe they were under $10, but their prices changes if you do not have Amazon Prime, like myself. So this is the full coverage tip. Normally it goes on the nail, and then you would file that little ledge, that edge. You don't want to push it all the way to the cuticle because then it doesn't really fit. Now what you could do is take a abrasive file such as this one. This is my at-home file. I've had it for years. It's my ride or die. You would take it and file over, if you wanted the end to touch your cuticle like this. I don't know if you guys can see. You would file the nail to actually fit your cuticle if you don't have perfect rounded cuticles. That actually fits me. But we're not doing that today because I do not have a real hand to work on. I just have my single finger. So we're going to go ahead and stick this in there. And before we do any laying of acrylic, you want the surface to be rough. Now, on a real finger, what you would do is use primer. You would use nail dehydrator such as alcohol, or you can buy nail dehydrator. Let's see here. I can't really play DJ, so whatever plays next, if you guys can hear my music, whatever plays next, plays next. I don't even care because I am using my phone and I'm playing music from my phone. So, anywho, you would use primer on the natural nail. Say if this is a real hand. You would use primer. You would use dehydrator first, then prime the nail. Some people use base coat and cure it under a lamp for about 30 seconds to make the false nail adhere to the natural nail plate. But this is a simple showing how to lay acrylic video. I got some feedback on YouTube. I appreciate you guys giving feedback. Somebody said my video was too long. Well, that's because I also share with the Facebook community, and that was a live. I didn't know I had a time limit, so YouTube and Facebook doesn't give time limits. So if my videos are too long, by any means necessary, please feel free to fast forward, rewind. And I'm just taking the shine off of this fake nail, as you guys can see. Excuse me. I just drank some tea, so it's loosening up all that yuck in my throat. So you'll be hearing me clear my throat a lot because I am talking. I didn't have this album. Alrighty. So we're just taking the shine off the nail, and we're doing this simply because you do not want the acrylic to just run off the nail, and that's what will happen if it's too shiny of a surface. I'm going to show you guys the method of how to lay acrylic without having to use an e-file, because I know a lot of people that's doing their nails at home are not using and I'm just using this little cheap Kiss brush. This came in the Kiss kit. I know you guys probably seen them at Walmart, Walgreens, Family Dollar, Dollar General. That kit isn't bad for beginners. It's very inexpensive monomer, and this is what the kit looks like. It comes with that little brush that I showed. It comes with this acrylic powder. It also comes with a little bit of monomer, which I feel like isn't enough because I ran out. Hold on one second. I'm grabbing it. And it comes with this. I know you guys have seen that kit at those stores. But me today, I am using Carlash monomer, also sold on Amazon. Now that is like $12 a bottle. If you are doing your nails at home, just know that it's expensive to buy all of these things. This is stuff that you need. There's no shortcuts. I've seen people say that you can do nails with acrylic nails with cornstarch. That does not work. I've tried it. It will break and flake off. So first color we're going to do is this Totally Taupe. And I'm going to do a simple nail starting off because she requested this is for beginners. I am a beginner. I just started laying acrylic back in February, and I started nail school this month, May 4th. I started nail school. So I'm a beginner. I'm not a professional as of yet. However, I am talented, and I'm not afraid to give myself that credit. So, get this in frame here for you guys so you can see everything that I'm doing. You don't want your brush to be dripping wet. You want to take it, get the excess off the side, grab a bead. You want to place the bead away from the cuticle in the beginning, and you want to just pat it from side to side and do a little swiping motion. Make sure that you are wiping your brush so the acrylic does not ruin the brush. And you want to pat towards the cuticle. You have to make sure that your bead is not too dry. So your monomer to acrylic powder ratios, it all is a science to this, you guys. Otherwise, the nail is going to come out lumpy, and you're going to have to file the nail. See how that's laying so far? If this nail would stay. So what I like to do with this false hand, so to stay, is just put a little acrylic further back. Push it. A natural nail, you would not want this to get on the cuticle because that will cause lifting. All right. So now we're going to lay another bead in the middle of the nail and do the same thing. Pat from side to side to try to even it out as much as possible, and do swiping motions. When you swipe, you want to use the belly of the brush and swipe down to the tip. You don't want to swipe too much because that will cause streaks in the nail and also cause lumpiness. And I can't believe I'm teaching this because I just learned this like a week ago. So, but here it is for beginners. We're learning together. All right, you guys. Turn it down just a tad bit for me, please. I don't want my video to get muted. All right, so you can put as much acrylic as you like. Some people like thicker nails, some people like thinner nails. For the sake of saving my supplies, I am going to, and I only use 2 beads, I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to let the nail dry. Okay. And I'm going to remove this nail as carefully as possible with tweezers because I don't have my practice hand. I actually left it at school, so rub it on the sidewalls. Good night. Okay, I'm going to smooth this out because I messed it up taking it off. I just dip my brush in monomer and kind of pat that acrylic down. All right, now we're going to get another nail. I'll do a few colors for you guys to show you that process again. Get a bigger nail this time because that one was probably too small for the nail well. This one is a little bigger, so we'll have better luck. All right, so now what I'm going to do, you got to remove that shine, okay? So this is after you've placed the nail on the natural nail bed, or you can do it beforehand. It doesn't matter. It's a little easier if you put it on the nail. So we're going to file this and use the more abrasive side. This is just a 180 grit file. Local beauty supply store, Walmart, wherever you get your nail files. It's just one of those types of files. And you want to file the shine off of the nail. I'm trying to stay in frame for you guys. All right. People love copying prints. That's that Purple Rain riff he did. So yeah, this is, I'm not going to say it's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. It just depends on your abilities, really. It took me lots of practice. I'm still practicing acrylic. I've improved, gotten better since I started laying acrylic. But once again, I am a nail student. So, and Am I all for people doing their own nails at home? Oh, yes, most definitely. But I'm also for people, of course, going to the nail shops and getting their nails done by the professionals, because there are certain disinfecting tactics that we learn. There's certain, we learn about the anatomy of the nail so we can better help you and assist you in taking care of your nails and keeping your natural nails healthy. So that's why I say I'm all for you guys finding a good nail tech that is knowledgeable and actually licensed, because some people are doing it illegally. Let's use a fun color. Now we're going to use this purple color. It's called Surf, and it's also by Glam and Glitz. I just kind of thump my acrylic so any powders that is in the acrylic or the lid won't just come out. Okay, so we filed that nail. It's also smart to brush off any dusties or particles left from filing, because any debris may cause lifting on the acrylic. All right, so now we just dip that brush. We totally submerge the brush, bring it back up against the sidewall, drain a little bit. You don't want your brush dipping. See, there's no drip, but it's wet enough. You grab a nice size bead, and the amount of acrylic that you grab is totally up to you. There's no surefire way. Some people say, oh, 3-bead method, 2-bead method. My teacher does not teach that. She said what matters most is if the nail looks good. If you use 1 bead, 2 bead, it doesn't matter. You just got to make sure that whole nail is covered. You want to wipe your brush, get any excess off. Why? Because it will start to cure on the brush and it will cause damage to the brush. Trust me, I've had to manicure my brushes a lot. Or not manicure, condition my brushes a lot. Manicure my brushes. It's hard to talk and do this at the same time because I am a beginner. Nonetheless, I am getting it. Like 2 Chainz. I'm riding around, I'm getting it. All right, so we're going to pat side to side. Forward strokes. If you have too much acrylic laying in one spot, it's okay. Wipe that brush. When you see color in your monomer, that means you are using either too much monomer or too much acrylic. You're not wiping your brush enough. So I'm patting that lump that I have right there. Let's be a little fun with this one. Let's do an ombre. So I'm working on my ombres. I'm using this green breeze, ocean breeze color. We're going to put this at the tip. For ombre, you want to just brush a small amount. Take the acrylic off of, I'm going to take the acrylic off of the brush, and then I just wiped in a backward motion toward the cuticle. It's my ombre. And then I'm taking that green again. I put a nice size bead on the tip, doing a backwards brush again towards the cuticle. Okay, it's a lot of back and forth with your ombre now. So we go back in with that purple, get a considerable size bead, because you don't want the colors to be too drastic. You want them to, in fact, be gradient into one another. Listen to that big word, gradient. Ooh. And you just want to wipe back and forth until you think that it looks good. So this is the ombre nail I just did on camera for you guys. Okay. I wouldn't worry too much about the lumpy bumpies, as my teacher called them, because you can, when you do colored acrylic, you always have to encapsulate with clear. So to do one nail, you guys, for you guys that are sitting at home thinking, hey, I want to do my own nails, let's name all the things that you would need to buy just to do one set of nails. You would need a dapping dish. All this stuff is sold on Amazon, by the way, but it is an investment. Of course, you would need acrylic. And then to encapsulate, you would also need clear acrylic. I actually like this clear acrylic. I got this on Amazon as well. It's by Lee Beauty. I don't know if you can see the name. You would also need your monomer, which can be very expensive depending on how much you get and the name brand that you get. Some good brands are I like Carlash, Lee Beauty. They also have this is a system that I bought, so I do have the acrylic. I just not using it because I like to use it with this acrylic. I think Model 1's Mia Secret, they sell acrylic monomer and acrylic. I have some actually. And so once this nail is dry, what we're going to do is encapsulate it with this clear, crystal clear. So you need brushes also. You know you cannot use eyeshadow brushes. It's not the same. You need an acrylic brush. You will need paper towels. The paper towels soak up the monomer. You cannot use, or you can, but you might get a lot of cotton. You cannot use bath towels to wipe your monomer off your brush. It just gets a lot of lint on your brush, and then you'll have a linty, contaminated nail, especially if you're doing anything like white, light colors, or clear, you'll see it. Okay, so that you would need files if you don't already have files. It's an investment. That's like close to $100 already right there. So keep that in mind, ladies. If you're not gonna be doing your nails often at home, if you're just doing it for quarantine, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but if you don't have it like that, then it might just be safe to just either go without or polish your nails with some polish you already have. You would also need false tips. You will also need top coat. Depending on if you're using gel, you might need a UV curing lamp. So you see where I'm going with this, you guys? It can be very costly trying to do your own nails at home. But if you got it, by all means, go for it. Because I know I did. But I knew that I was also going to school to be a nail tech because this is my childhood dream. We are going to encapsulate the nail with the clear acrylic now. I'm rushing through this because I take too long on these videos. And I don't have an editor right now. Editing sure to come in the near future. So you want to make sure that bead is wet. And it's the same process of laying the colored acrylic. Now what this clear acrylic does, it encapsulates the color. So if you do any fouling, you're not going to foul off the color because it does foul off, you guys. And I don't know if nail techs out there do this, but I know a lot of people say, oh, my nails just chip and this and that, and the color came right off, and then they use colored acrylic. It's probably because they didn't encapsulate it. Whoever the nail tech is probably didn't encapsulate. So we're just laying that bead in the middle, and we're going to make sure we pat from side to side, making sure to swipe with the belly of the brush and a forward motion to the tip. How come you ain't hopped on here and give me a view? That's okay. Okay. You want to repeat this motion if your look is a little too lumpy. Try to get it as smooth as possible. And there's a lot that goes into it. The apex of the nail, I can show you guys this after how to build an apex after I get finished laying this acrylic here. And see, I'm not doing a voiceover or anything. I'm doing all of this at once. So please don't bully me, YouTube family. YouTube friends. I got to give y'all a name. Because my audience has changed. Like, I wasn't always a nail channel. I always talked about, like, political things and social injustice and different topics like that. I no longer care to talk about those things as much because of the nasty names I've been called for my own personal opinion. I don't care about people calling me names. I just delete it and block them if they are too harassing. But so I don't have a name for my YouTube family, my YouTube followers or subscribers. I want to call you guys subbies. So that's too used. So I'm gonna grab a small bead and fix this side over here. And if your acrylic is running, then it may be because your brush is too wet. You have to wipe that brush. Wipe, wipe, wipe. And to get the side walls, I'm just patting with the belly of my brush to get them even as possible. As even as possible. If you get any brush prints, just simply wet your brush and lightly stroke it. All right, we have a green and purple. Ooh, I might throw some 3D grapes on here, but not in this video. I might take pictures of it. And that is how you lay acrylic, my friends. Look at that. That nail is smooth. Okay, and then we were talking about the apex, right? So this is what an apex is. I have on clear nails myself. You see the pressure point where my nail turns white. That is where you want the most strength in the nail. Let's see, my thumb looks better. See where it's turning white? So if I was to apply any pressure, you want that apex to start to build from here to the free edge of the nail. And you want it to be not a speed bump. You want it to be gradual. See where it's turning white? That is where you want to build an apex. Now, if you do not know what an apex is, Google it. But I think I just explained what an apex is. It's the pressure point in your nail, and you do not want those nails to break. You have to have strong apexes. Otherwise, it's going to cause the nail to pop in the back, and it may harm your natural nail. If a nail breaks, it might split and crack there. Instead of if you want a nail to break, you want it to break at the free edge, not to, draw any blood or any pain to the nail plate. Okay. So, I think I might do one more nail, but that was our ombre nail that we did, and that is smooth. I really don't need to file this nail. I want it to dry. I'm gonna let that dry, and then we'll get into doing another acrylic application. If you guys have not shared any of my videos, go ahead. I know there's a lot of people out there that love watching nail videos or anything nails related. So please, you guys, do me a favor and share. Share it on your page. Invite friends to the page or the group. That person left as soon as I start talking about that. That's okay. But yeah, make sure you share. Sharing is caring, you guys. I have one pink color that I need to use that I pulled out anyways. Let's do something else. I used pink and orange and stuff last night. You know what? Memorial Day is coming up. Let's do blue. This blue is called Jennifer. I'm going to rename it because I don't like the name of stuff being like female names. I don't know why they do that. We're going to do a blue nail. Okay, and this is how you can tell the acrylic is dry. You hear that click, click, click? You can take your brush. That is how you know. And this is an apex. It's gradual. It does help that the tip is already shaped for me. Now, if you get nails that aren't coffin shaped, all you would simply do is take an abrasive file, use the rougher side on the side walls, and you would file that nail, holding your file like a knife, going forward. In a fork, pulling it back to yourself. I'm pulling it back to myself. You would do it like that, and the edge of the nail. Okay? That is how you would acquire this shape. Now, if you want the coffin shape, you will taper it in and take the brush at an angle and do the knife. You will hold it and put a generous amount of pressure on the sidewall. to get that coffin shape. I think I'm going to call my YouTube family Nailistas, because I'm the head Nailista. Nailistas, like fashionista. Nailista. Don't take my stuff, because I came up with that. And I don't know if you did. So I Google stuff before I take it and use it and make it my own. No one is calling themselves a nailista except for me. So my nailistas out there. Because you know what? I'm not the only nailista. I'm not the only one that's knowledgeable about nails. There are some very talented men and women in this industry. And I would love for Kiara Sky or Young Nails to get on my videos and be like, hey, you know, here's a tidbit. Here's a trick. Here's some free products. Just do a video with our stuff. I would love it. I would just be in heaven. It's not impossible. It's very possible. So just fouling the shine off this nail once again. Hope I grabbed the right size for this nail bevel. Alrighty. So we're taking the shine off that nail. Sorry if I'm out of frame. My arms are getting restless. Okay. It's a dreary day outside. Perfect day to just do nails, you know. Sun isn't shining. Looks like it's going to rain. It's cold and windy. And this goes towards my time. If my teacher says, you didn't do this, I will be like, go on my page and you can see, honey, I was doing nails all weekend. Got the receipts. All right, so we took the shine off that nail. We're going to stick it right into, I don't know what her name is. She's just one finger, so I don't name her. We're going to stick this right into Stacy. Stacy has one finger. All right. I get some black hands and stuff because different colors look, everything don't look good on this color of a hand. So I need to get some different color hands coming soon. Stay tuned. All right. So we're going to open up this acrylic. This is Glam and Glitz as well. It's called Jennifer. All right. So we're going to wet that brush completely, submerge it into the monomer. And then we're going to pat the brush against the side of the dapping dish. I do it a couple times just because you don't have to, but that's just something I do. All right. Grab that bead. We are going to pat across. And I'm pushing it back all the way to the cuticle, but normally you'll leave it 1/16 away from the cuticle. But I'm doing it just for the sake of it sticking in this little nail. Brush it in forward motion. You don't want to brush all of your acrylic off of the nail. So just kind of eyeball and see. All right. Forward motion. All right. Like I said, I was taught that you use however many beads you need to use to make the nail look good and not over lumpy and things like that. The number of beads you use does not matter. And with color acrylic, you're going to end up using more beads anyway because you want that color to be equal all around the nail, right? You don't want it to be darker in some spots, lighter in some spots, especially if you're using a clear or a white nail tip. Because it will show. Wipe that brush. Get all that excess off of there. All right. So, what you think about that? I see a spot on the sidewall that I'm going to get. Just pat, pat, pat. Bring it forward. This side looks really good. I've seen some people on YouTube, their nails, it's like, you don't see that big gaping empty spot on the sidewall, you're just going to keep taking pictures of that? Okay, all right. I've become critical. But I don't say anything because, you know, hey, I'm not perfect. I just started on this thing, so. It irks me. It's like it messes with my OCD. Like, there's a blank spot right there. When you brush the bead, you want to make sure that that you're not just brushing it completely, totally off. You want to brush lightly. It takes lots of practice, you guys. Trying to build an apex on this nail, like I showed you guys. Just imagine having to do this 10 times over. It's going to be time consuming. And then if you don't use your non-dominant hand often, you have to train your non-dominant hand to be able to do these types of things. So I'm just brushing this to the free edge. Okay, so I built an apex. You guys see how it curves? That's where the stress point would be if this was a real finger. Let me use my pointer. This is built up more up here. It does help to use a nail that's already shaped because that cuts time. You don't have to file the nail. Dave, how long have I been on here already? All right, so that is how you apply acrylic. It does help to use nail tips that are already shaped. If you don't have these nail tips and you have tips that are square, excuse me, which I have some of those, you just simply use your file and file the nail. Before you do anything, after you take the shine off the nail, you just simply file the nail, holding it like a knife. There's technique to that too. Or you could just simply leave it to us nails techs. We'll get you right. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was my acrylic laying video for beginners. Thank you Facebook likes. Thank you YouTubers that come on my videos to watch. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend about this page. And if you have any videos that you think I should do, go ahead and leave a comment below. Drop those comments below. And I will definitely do my best to make those videos. Thanks so much for watching. And you guys have a wonderful Sunday.